As you guys can see from this chart on esportfire.com, the CS2 markets ended 2024 very, very hot. The last couple weeks of December, things were going up pretty quickly. Skins, different types of items, the CS2 markets in general were in a really healthy, really good place. And in this video today, I want to go over some other numbers, some other data, some other signs that CS2 is pointing in the right direction, that CS2 ended 2024 strong, that CS2 is starting off this new year right, and is poised and set up to have a really, really strong 2025 overall. Today's video is sponsored by Skins Monkey, an automated CS2 trading platform where you can turn your skins into new ones simple and easy. You can use code GERM to get up to $5 free bonus on your first trade. You can also use that same code GERM to get a 5% extra deposit bonus on top of the 30% deposit bonus that Skins Monkey is already offering. During the holiday season, you can also go on Skins Monkey and claim a free gift. Skins Monkey also has a Christmas calendar going on right now where you can come back daily and get even more free gifts. So there's really no reason to not go check out Skins Monkey with that first link in the description below today. So some of the signs that things were going very, very well started all the way back in November. This was a time where Valve, really for the last couple months of 2024, really Valve was putting out a lot of interesting and cool updates. They were slowly fixing the game. They were slowly banning more and more cheaters. Yes, cheating is still an issue. Yes, optimization and clunkiness and, stuff like that in the game is still an issue, but those things were getting better. There was less and less cheaters, and also we got the Armory in October, we got Train release, all this different stuff. So Price Empire had tweeted out that CS2's player count had been trending back up after the release of Train. Again, this was in November. Things were starting to look good. After player count was down in September, down in October, things were reversing at least in November a little bit, with average player count going up, peak players hitting 1.5 million in November. Those were really, really good signs, and yeah, maybe they were down a little bit from like the summer months, but they were up from December 2023. They were up year over year. Things were going well. Things were pointing in the right direction, and things just got better and better from the rest of November and even into December. I thought this was interesting as well. Raw CSGO, he's tweeted out, just give us a mini game or two and we'll basically be playing an operation, because I know this is a really, really hot point of contention right now, whether or not we're going to be getting any operations in 2025 or ever in CS2. And I think this is really interesting because some people are saying, oh, we're definitely going to get an operation, and some people are calling me dumb for saying we're not going to get an operation in 2025. But again, look at the Armory. We got a ton of new community maps. We got a Train rework. We got 3 new collections. We got new charms. We got new stickers. We have a limited edition item. Like all of that stuff, the Armory plus these other updates, that is our operation. Like I really don't think we're going to be getting operation at this point, but I did think this was funny what Ross said. But it also lets you know that over the back half of 2024, we did get an operation's worth of content. Valve actually did put out a lot of new content. That was a criticism of CS2 when it first dropped, and for the first couple months of CS2, that there was no new content, that there was no new stuff going on. Slowly but surely we got that. We got a couple new cases, we got a bunch of new collections, we got new maps, we got map reworks. We did have a lot of new things. We had new items. We had Zeus skins for the first time ever. We had charms for the first time ever. We had new stickers. We had all kinds of different stuff. We really did get an operation's worth of content, just without calling it an operation, just calling it something different, calling it just new updates or the Armory or whatever. Now, heading into December, things continue to go in the right direction. CS2 is back to positive player numbers, says Osni. The game also surpassed 1.5 million concurrent players for the first time since June, and you can see here how some of those numbers ended up shaking out. November ended up being a pretty big month, plus 22,000 players into the average number, which was like a 3% gain overall. Peak players stayed at that 1.5 million number, which is really crazy, and then into December, that player number continued to rise. This is a very, very good sign. So some people were like, oh, this is just because of the major, right? And he's like, no, this might have helped, but it looks like 1.5 million broke around the middle of the month. So, yes, the Shanghai major, and getting to watch pro players compete at the highest level and all that stuff, getting to watch Donk go crazy, I'm sure that helped. I'm sure that brought people back to CS2, that made them want to play and everything. But things were going well before even the Shanghai major. This was pretty crazy as well. December 15th, Raw CSGO tweeted out this 1.74 million. We did hit that peak. We ended up breaking those 1.5 million peak numbers, and not only breaking those 1.5 million peak numbers, breaking them by a lot, going from 1.5 million to 1.74 million. This was very, very, very insane. We can go back and look, at these numbers, and we can see that 1.74 million gets us to the highest that we'd really seen in all of 2024. 2024. Pretty crazy, and I believe it's the second highest peak player count number in CS2 history. That's including all the CS2 hype and craziness and everything like that. So that was definitely a very, very good sign. People like X Mercy, they were tweeting out, you didn't see it, but in the shadow, CS2 is slowly starting to take off. For a casual weekend with no majors going on, 1.64 million players as a 24-hour peak is a lot. So again, people were still talking about this. He then continued to say, if you're putting it all into a pre-Christmas weekend, you are clueless. You probably believe in Santa Claus. It matters, but it's the least relevant reason. My actual reasons for that is now posted to his subs, whatever. So people have been hyped for Santa since the beginning of November. And that's what I was saying, that this all started in November. The nice increase. Yeah, we really saw the peak insanity in December, hitting these new peak numbers and seeing the average players increase and all that stuff. But really, it started back in November. And I really think a lot of the hype and the kind of things pointing in the right direction maybe even started in October when we did get that Armory update. Because again, the Armory update is a really, really cool thing. We got a ton of new items, cosmetics people have been hoping for, but also the Armory actually rewards people for playing the game. Again, we have so much profitable ways to redeem those stars. If you're going to be playing CS2, you can literally make money while playing CS2 by grinding out Armory passes and grinding out Armory stars and having those being redeemed all the time. So I thought that was really, really cool. This was also interesting to end the year. Again, people would say that overall 2024 was a down year for Counter-Strike. CS2 had all kinds of issues. The release didn't go as many people wanted. They were too slow putting out content. The cheater issue was way too bad at the beginning. The optimization of the game was way too bad at the beginning. It was crashing all the time. It felt really, really shitty, whatever. 2024 is not like one that's going to be remembered as an amazing year for Counter-Strike in general. But despite all this, Jesus tweeted this out. Player numbers are up 18% since 2023. This is to end the year in 2024. And skin prices, this is the interesting part, are up about 14%. Now, he says per Esport Fire, so we can take a look at those Esport Fire indexes right now, and we can see if we zoom out a little bit. This is where we were at the beginning of 2024. This is the Esport Fire 300 index. It tracks 300 items that they feel represents the market accurately and well. We went from about 31,000 to about 35,000, which again is around a 14% increase. But if you need more kind of certainty or whatever, another data point, we also have Price Empire, who does a similar thing. They have their own kind of market index where they also went from around 31,000 at the end of 2023, the beginning of 2024, to about 36,000 now, which again is like a 14, 15, 16% increase, something like that. So that is two different places showing about the same data, about the same number. So again, player count was up, the markets were up. Now, the only thing that sucks is usually, CS is pretty risk heavy. So you want it to have really, really good gains. You want CS2 investing to outperform other stuff. But what actually sucks is that the US stock market and crypto both massively outperformed CS this year. And that's also another reason why the CS markets could have been hurt a little bit. People only have so much money, and a lot of times the money flows to what is hot. And I think the S&P 500 went up 22 or 23% in 2024, which is absolutely insane. Crypto went even crazier. I don't know exactly the percentages, like Bitcoin was up or anything like that, but I know it was up a lot more than 14%. So even though CS2 skins were up 14% this year, which is awesome. That's a great year. If you're up more than 10%, that's a really, really good year, and that's something you should be happy for. But CS actually did underperform the other markets this year, and I do wonder, if crypto or the stocks or whatever do have a little bit of a down year in 2025, or maybe just not as hot of a year in 2025, if that could also help some of that money flow back into CS2. These are both all-time records for the end-of-year numbers. 2025 has a lot of potential. So again, even though 2024 was not necessarily the year a lot of people had hoped for or expected or wanted or whatever, this was still a record-breaking year for Counter-Strike in 2024. This has still set us up insanely well for 2025. Counter-Strike News, they tweet out similar stuff. Average player numbers in CS2 as of right now is about 17% higher than the end of 2023, with a nice increase right after Shanghai. Peak players was close to the all-time peak, which was at 1.74 million. Pretty crazy stuff. Raw CSGO, been watching the player numbers for a while now, and as of recent, we're casually hitting 1.6 million players almost daily. Crazy good numbers. And even though the Christmas holidays might be a factor here, this is still 30% higher than December of 2023. Because again, people are just like, oh, it's the holidays, it's Christmas, people are home, people are grinding, people are playing, whatever, it's going to go back down. But guess what? Christmas happened in 2023 as well, and we did not see numbers like this. So just saying it's all Christmas and this happens all the time doesn't even make sense, and it's not even true. What's even crazier when we do kind of take a look at the numbers and everything, again, this 1.74 million peak that we did see in December. If we scroll back, we can see it's the second highest all time, and even during the peak CS2 insanity, we got to 1.8 million and that's very, very close to where we're at right now at 1.74 million, but that only happened once. Again, peak CS2 hype didn't just happen for like a day and go back down. This was a couple months where we saw, 1.6, 1.5, 1.5. We're breaking a lot of those months right now during that peak CS2 insanity. And what's crazy, if we zoom out and look at the markets were way up here. They were at 52,000, 51,000, and we're at 36,000 right now. We can look at Esport Fire and see similar things. Peak market up here was 46,000. Right now we're at 36,000. So we're getting very, very close to the average player base numbers and the peak player base numbers that we saw in the craziness of 2023 with prices that are still down low. So I do think right now is still a really, really great and massive opportunity to buy, because I do think if Counter-Strike is able to build off some of the success that they had in 2024 and have a lot of success in 2025, that the markets are also going to have a ton of success in 2025, and there's going to be a lot of money to be made. But we'll have to wait and see. We're one day into 2025 right now, and I can't wait to see what this year's going to have in store. Hopefully, we all make a ton of money. Hopefully, the game gets to a really amazing state. Hopefully, we all have a lot of fun playing, but we'll have to wait and see. Pretty much over this video today, guys. Hopefully, catch you in the next one. Until then, peace.